writing this speech for, I don't know, a year. So I don't know if she's nervous, but you don't need to be. Make it louder. Make it louder? Louder. Okay, is it louder now? Or I have to speak louder? So anyway, Blair and I and Andrew's parents, Deb and John and Richard and Betsy, are so happy that you're here to join us this evening. About 400 days ago or nights ago, Andrew gave me a call to ask me for Blair's hand. Blair's. And I just had my first one. As for Jill's hand in marriage, to put that in some perspective, it was 6,000 days ago, approximately, I'm trying to figure it out, that Jill had gone up to Colgate and we had heard she had met some guy that was a friend or a classmate, a fraternity brother of James, who was a student at Colgate at the time. And that certain person, Andrew, we finally found out, was kind enough to let Jill use his room that weekend we heard is for a power nap, which Jill does do on a regular basis. So I don't know how much Blair and I were supposed to know about what was going on or not after that time, but after college, Jill went on to Jackson Hole where Andrew, we think, was working, but we never heard that much about it. And we didn't hear much again until 15 years later or so, when the next thing we heard was Andrew and Jill were having some co-tenant agreement in Denver, and they were living together. So until then, the two of them were just crossing the country and trying to meet. And I'm convinced if there were better GPS in those days, or texting, this day would have occurred a lot earlier. So all of that being true, they've known each other for almost half of their lives. So one would be prone to ask, as Blair and I were, what took so long? We don't know, but we do think they are perfectly matched with each other. As some of you know, Jill gives free, unsolicited advice to everybody. But Andrew is her moderator. He deeply cares for her, that we know. And he helped her through her thesis presentation. He's the nicest, kindest, and most loyal guy. And Blair and I really mean that. He calms her down. And that's, well, I wouldn't say that's, but he calms her down. And the new rule is that whenever Joe comes to visit us, wherever we may be, Andrew has a free ticket for the And together they're always aspiring to new heights. They just moved from Denver to Eagle, Colorado, gaining 1,000 feet in altitude. Blair says it's not really the vertical that's important, it's the horizontal. And, I don't know what you meant by that, but I think she's referring to the fact that they moved 100 miles further away from us. So Joe was the only one of our children that applied to more than one college, Colgate and Amherst. And Amherst is, the school that her uncle went to, but Jill did not, and Peter will not let her live that down. The fact is that we told her at that time not to pick a school on the basis of where there were sports or where any individual guy might be. We didn't really know about Andrew still at that point, and Jill picked the school that she picked. We think that was the only time she didn't take our advice, ever. Maybe that's not true, but we've always been proud of Jill as a daughter, as a sister, as a student, as an athlete. And it's so wonderful that she and her mom speak every morning on the phone. We, Jill, and your brothers love you. Andrew, we love you too, equally. We don't get any more of those frantic phone calls from Jill. What am I going to do? We assume she comes to you for that. Andrew will now be a new addition to our family, although he's related in some respect to all of his fraternity brothers, James and Adam, and everyone else here who's a geek. And for those of you who don't know who Andrew is, his name is Bick. So that was our code. Blair, sweetie, can you come up here, please? I'm going to come up there. Blair is the one who, with Joe, did all the planning and arranging for this affair tonight. Claire is the center of my universe, the center of my life. She's beautiful. She is gracious. If my mother was still alive, most importantly, she's charming. And during all of this, she was kind enough to give me one day off a week, sort of, not to talk about the wedding. But today is the day. Our last child is married. Jill, you're without doubt our favorite daughter. And Andrew, you are without doubt now our favorite son-in-law. So together, to both of you, a long life together. I'm not as eloquent as my brothers, but the feeling and the thoughts are there. Today and tonight is wonderfully bittersweet for us. We, our brothers, and your brothers, and all of our families love the both of you. So be happy, be supportive, be caring, be parents. Call, visit, behind.